Welcome back. You're watching News First and ET now. I'm Nayantara Rai. Sushma Swaraj yesterday said FDI in India has catapulted to over $60 billion in 2016, and a lion's share of that has come from the United States. She said this while speaking at an Indo-U.S. forum. And if you go by the recent successful meeting of Narendra Modi and Donald Trump, in fact, we even saw Donald Trump in an impromptu move walking up to Modi at the G20. If you look at the effusive praises that they lauded on each other, the handshakes, the bear hugs, you would expect the Indo-U.S. ties to only get stronger. Is that a possibility? Let's discuss this with the acting president of the U.S. IBC, Khush Choksy. Welcome, Mr. Choksy, to ET Now. Welcome to India as well. I believe you are here for a short visit. My first question to you is, while we talk about the fantastic Indo-U.S. relations, the great bonhomie being enjoyed by the two heads of state, would you concede that visas remain a sticky point? The Donald Trump administration is not letting up. You have seen the Indian companies, especially those in the IT sector, suffer as they're having to hire more in the United States. And, if you even look at what the prime ministers had to say, the finance minister and the commerce minister raising all of these issues while visiting the U.S., would you concede that this could turn out to be a thorn in the Indo-U.S. relations, or would you say it's being overdone?
The visa issue is just one point of discussion, I believe, in a more broad agenda. And I certainly don't think it is on the top of minds and the top of the agenda as a single issue. And there, too, US IBC's approach is going to be to look at points of confluence. And certainly the Chamber has always believed, and US IBC has always believed, and those names I use synonymously because they're one and the same. In US IBC's position has always been that we look at the free movement of goods and people.
That can be a position. You may want confluence, but if you look at the commentary, and I'm only focusing on the commentary that is coming in from the decision makers in the Donald Trump administration and in the Modi government, would you not, how can you say that that commentary doesn't point towards U.S. becoming more inward, getting to protectionism, and how can that not impact the Indo-U.S. relations, especially when India is going out trying to attract FDI?
I don't believe so. The former CEO of GE, Jeff Immelt, put it this way. He said, in some respects, the word localization is some ways the new globalization, and there are certainly aspects of that you see happening. That's not necessarily bad in whichever geographic focus that takes place in. So no, in the US-Indo relationship, we don't see the two countries looking inward. We don't see our companies looking inward. We see them looking outward at each other and working on partnerships that would be long-term and sustainable.
Okay, so let's talk a bit more about that partnership. The Indo-U.S. relations were redefined actually by Barack Obama and Narendra Modi. Do you think that Narendra Modi and Donald Trump's relationship could be as robust as the one that had been enjoyed by Trump's predecessor?
I think that the evidence speaks to that it will be much stronger, more robust, more diverse, and an evolution in the relationship that sees India as, the defense partnership classified India as a strategic partner. I think that the relationship with the new administration has evolved to India more broadly being strategically important, and certainly on the commercial side, very much so. The new administration has just bringing on board its team. You have a potential new ambassador that certainly knows this relationship well, has worked with USAIBC and the U.S. Chamber for a very long period of time. This week's visit by the Acting Assistant Secretary of State for South Asia, Alice Wells, and she has met with a select group of USAIBC companies, American businesses, and ourselves. You see plans for the Secretary of Energy, Rick Perry, coming, Secretary of Defense Matters coming. You see the U.S. delegation to the Global Entrepreneurship Summit being led by Ivanka Trump.
Okay, you're saying Ivanka Trump is coming, so let's see when The president himself comes, Donald Trump. He did come a few years ago with his son Don Jr., but that was on a business trip. So let's see when that happens. Thanks so much, Mr. Choksy, for joining us here on ET Now.